Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll be installing a decompression valve on a little garden tractor engine. The reason for that is to make it easier to start the engine and also protect the pull start mechanism because the pull start mechanism is not very strong. Well, here I have the decompression valve, a piece of steel for the adapter and a cylinder head. First thing I'm going to do on my milling machine is I'm going to drill this hole. This is a precast hole. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to drill it to be able to cut a standard spark plug thread, which is I think M14 fine. And then on my lathe, I'm going to take this piece of steel and I'm going to machine an adapter that will have decompression valve thread, I think it's M10 internal on one end, and also spark plug thread, which is M14 fine on outside, so I can use the adapter to install the decompression valve. I also might have to machine down this hex. I'm not sure if that is going to fit, so I might have to machine it down to smaller size. So let's go over to the milling machine and then start drilling and tapping. Well, as you can see, I've set the cylinder head on my milling machine. Now I'm going to drill the hole to 12.5 millimeters and I will cut the spark plug thread in. Oh well, so here I've installed the tap and I'm gonna go up with the table. I have to make sure that the hole and the tap is lining up because of the angle of the head. I can't just replace the tool and then carry on with the thread cutting. I gotta line it up again. So let's try that. Well, that's pretty close, I think. That's probably best we can do with this setup. And I'm going to only turn the top by hand. I'm not gonna turn the machine on. And what I want to do is just I just want the top to start cutting, and then I'll finish it manually, because there isn't much room. So I'll just go manually. I'll give it a drop of oil. And start cutting. I just need to start the thread, and then I'll finish it manually. Okay, so I'm going to loosen the top, and hopefully I can get it out of the chop bit by bit. Okay, I think they're pretty good. And now I'm just going to finish it manually. Looks like we're running out of room. So I'll just have to go bit by bit. Well, the thread looks alright so far. So I'm just going to finish it. Okay. Well, that looks nice. I'm just going to get a spark plug and see if it fits. Here I have just an old spark plug just to test the thread, and I think it fits well. So that's basically the cylinder head done. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to machine the adapter for the decompression valve on my lathe. Well, the next thing is the adapter for the decompression valve. I have the head here. The reason why I have that is so I can check the thread. Once I cut the thread, I can check it. That's the spark plug, standard spark plug thread. And the same thread is going to be on the adapter for the decompression valve. I've got a piece of steel. It's 22 millimeter hex. I feel that might be too big. So once I have it all done, once I have all the machining done, I'm gonna test it, and I might have to put it in my milling machine and machine it down to, well, from 22 to maybe 19 or 17. That's because I have the fins here, and that might be interfering with the adapter, because the hex might be too big. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to machine the outside diameter. That will be 14 millimeters for 14 millimeter thread, and it is going to be 18 millimeters long.
I've got 15, so I'll go another 3 millimeters. Yeah, that's about 18 and a bit, so that will do just fine, that's long enough. Now I'm going to turn it down to 14 millimeters. So I'm on a 19, so I can go another 5 millimeters. I'm 16, so I've got 2 more millimeters and that should be fine for the 14 millimeter thread. Alright, one more check. I'm at 14.3, so I'll go another 3, well I'll go another 4/10 of a millimeter. It's always good when you're cutting threads to have the diameter just maybe a 1/10 of a millimeter or maybe 5/100 of a millimeter smaller, so it's not gonna be too tight. Well, I'm at 13.9, so I'll keep it as it is. I'm just gonna face it. I'm going to drill a center hole. I've got a 3 millimeter center drill. Well, I'm only going to drill a 3 millimeter hole here from this side because I don't want to, in case something happened with the decompression valve, I don't want the piece of the decompression valve falling into the cylinder and destroying the engine. So from this side I'm going to drill 3 millimeter hole. That should be plenty for the pressure release. And then once I finish this side, the other side is going to have a bigger hole for the M10 thread. This is my standard 3.15 millimeter center drill, so I'm going to swap that for 3 millimeter drill bit, and I'm going to drill a bit further. I'm only going about 10 millimeters deep. That should be plenty because I'll finish the drilling from the other side. So it's only 10 millimeters. That should do. So next thing is I'm going to set lathe for thread cutting. I'll be cutting M14 and the pitch is 1.25 of a millimeter. And it's a metric thread, so I'll be using a 60-degree angled thread cutting tool. I'm using high-speed steel, which is good enough for any sort of mild steel, even chromoly steel can do, and then like brass and so on and so on. I don't have, or I don't use the tips, the carbide tips or whatever they are. I'm pretty happy with the standard high-speed steel bar. You can sharpen it to any angle, and then if it's not sharp enough, you can sharpen it over and over again.
Well, setting up a lathe for screw cutting is pretty easy. First thing is you have to make sure that you've machined the right diameter, what I just did. And then next thing you need to look at is well, every machine should have a little chart. So you have to find your pitch. We have 1.25, which is just there. So for that we need a set of gears 80, 40, 50 and 127. That is all happening here. So all you need to do is, with all the machines, you have to swap the gears. So different pitch, different set of gears. So once you have that, once you put the right gears in the right place, and you swap them for the right pitch, then you basically just have to move the levers. So I've set this lever to position C, which is 1.25, position C, and this lever into position 1. So that's basically that. To start thread cutting, you also have to turn the thread cutting on, as you can see, and then we are going to cut the right hand thread. So basically engage the right hand thread, and the last thing we're going to do once we have the machine running, we just have to engage this lever that will lock what would you call it, a split nut onto that lead screw. Not sure if that's gonna engage. Well, it's a lot easier to do when, okay, there you go. It's a lot easier to do it when the machine is running. So now we should be ready for the screw cutting. So let's make some chips and cut some threads. Well, alright, so the machine is set. I'm just going to turn it on. I'm going to set a 0. Alright, so the 0 is set. I'm just going down to 250 RPM. It depends, some people like the RPM higher, some people lower. With the lower RPM you're less likely to crush the machine, so it's a little bit easier. So we have it all engaged. The small diameter of M14 thread fine is 12.75, so we got about 1.25 millimeter or so. So I'll start cutting, maybe I'll take a half a millimeter at a time, first few cuts, and then as we get to the end of screw cutting, we'll just go with 0.1 of a millimeter or even 5/100ths of a millimeter to have it nice and smooth
we don't want to have some rough threads here. So I'll start with 1/2 millimeter, and then we'll see how it goes. So we can use a bit of oil. I'm using just a regular oil. You can also use, well, I suppose you can use lard, you can use pork fat, or whatever grease you have around your workshop. It just makes it easier on the tool, and also the thread is a lot smoother and shinier. So I'll go another 0.3 of a millimeter. I'll go another 0.2. Last few cuts you can go maybe 0.1 or even 5/100 of a millimeter, and very last cut can be just a kind of not really cutting anything, but you're just cleaning the thread. So once you think it's done, I suppose I usually use a wire brush to clean it up a little bit. As you can see, a bit of oil makes the thread looks a lot smoother. So I'm just gonna check the size and see if we have to cut any further. That's what I need the cylinder head. Let's try this, see if we have any luck. Yeah, it feels a little bit tight, so I'll probably go another 5/100 of a millimeter, and then check again. Yeah, still a bit tight, so I'll do another 5/100 and check again. Well, that's pretty good. It's not too tight, not too loose. It's just about right. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. Just go over it with the wire brush and a file to clean it up a little bit, and thread is done. So we can just part it off and then start the other side. Okay, I'll put in a parting tool. It's just a standard 5mm parting tool, and I'm going to part it off at like, I'm going to make the width or length, say 10mm, 10, 11, and then I'll face it, make it maybe 10mm or so. That should be enough. So I'm gonna say 11mm. That's it. The speed I'm using, it's 630 RPM. That's not too slow, not too fast. That should be enough. For the last bit, I usually use a hacksaw just to cut it off. So, because when you're parting with the tool, sometimes the last bit might break off and the piece might just fly somewhere or hit something. And this is a little bit safer. It's only a couple of millimeters. There you go. So that's one side. Next thing, I'm going to face this, and then I'm going to drill and tap M10 fine thread for the decompression valve, and then I'll try it. And also might have to, as I mentioned earlier, I might have to machine that hex down to maybe 19 or 17mm. So that's the next thing to do. Okay, so I'm trying to install the adapter, and as you can see here, it is interfering with the fins. So I was gonna machine the hex down to maybe 16, 17, or maybe even 15mm, and then I should be able to install it. I'm going to drill and tap that M10 thread, and then I'll use my milling machine to machine the hex down. Well, I make the threaded hole 15 millimeters deep, so there's nothing that can interfere with the valve when the valve is open, and then I'll cut the thread. I'm just simply going to start the thread and then I'll finish it by hand. It's a lot safer because it is a blind hole and I don't want to break the tap. Oh, as you can see, it fits nicely. So the last thing is to machine the hex down so we can install it. Well, okay, it's all set. So I'm just going to machine 3 millimeters of each of these flats, and that will bring it down to 16 millimeters. I've got a 16 millimeter socket, so that should work just fine. Well, that's the last bit. Now I should be able to install it in the cylinder head. And hopefully there is no interference. Yeah, well, as you can see, there is no interference with fins. So basically I'm just gonna clean the sharp edges and then I'm gonna see if I can install the decompression valve and the adapter. Well, the job is done. I can install the adapter. As you can probably see, it does have a little hole. It's only 3mm hole because that little head of that valve is about 7mm. So even that breaks off, it's not gonna fall inside the cylinder and destroy the engine. So just basically screw it in. Like so. Nip it up a little bit, there is no leaks. Decompression valve. It is installed and works well. I'll just put a spark plug back. And head is ready to be installed. Well, thank you for watching. I do apologize for the video being a bit longer. Please subscribe and write comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.